Hey there, I'm Art with theflyfishers.com, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to tie a modified version of the disco midge. It works well in tailwaters out west, Montana, Colorado, New Mexico, as well as out west here in Wisconsin. We're going to be using Tiemco 2487 size 14 hooks today with the appropriate size bead. For thread, we're going to be using 70 denier ultra thread, color brown olive. Start your wraps right behind the bead and wrap it all the way back to where it starts to bend. Cut off your excess and you're ready to add the copper wire. I like to use small copper ultra wire for this pattern. Doesn't matter how neatly you tie them on right here, as you'll be going over it again. Cut off the excess and then make some nice wraps, real consistent, real neat, all the way back to the bend in the hook. You just want to make sure to cover up all of the copper wire. Keep going right till the base of your thread wraps, and you're ready for the next step. For creating the body, I like to use just a pinch of Senyo's brown laser dub. I really like to use this because it's got those little sparkles of UV in there. Just apply the dubbing onto your thread, give it a couple good twists, make sure it's real nice and firm on there. Start wrapping it around. I usually try to make it thicker as you get farther up the body of the midge. And I'll go back a couple times, just make a couple thread wraps to really give it a nice form. And you're ready for the next step. Just wrap the copper wire up nice and even spaced the body of the midge. Keep wrapping past your dubbing and keep going all the way up to the bead head. I like to do this, just gives the midge a little bit of extra weight and makes use of some of that excess copper wire. Clip it off and you're ready for the herl. You're then going to want to tie a single strand of peacock herl in right behind the bead head and go back until you meet the dubbing. After you tie the herl in, don't wrap it right away, as we're going to be using a couple different colors of crystal flash. I like to use pearl, black, and pink in my disco midges, and we're just going to be tying those right on top of the herl you just tied in. Ready for the next step. After you have all this tied in, you're just going to start to wrap your peacock herl forward. Nice even. Try not to go over the wraps you just made, as that'll squish down the fibers and give it an odd shape. Wrap it all the way up to the bead and then a couple extra wraps just for good measure. Tie it off. Clip off the excess and you're good to go. After you've got the herl tied in, you're just going to fold all your strands of crystal flash forward, giving it a nice little shiny back to the midge here. Tie those off. And to get them to all stand up, I like to pull on it, make a couple thread wraps at the base of the bead, behind it, and you should get this nice flared appearance. After you've got those tied in, clip it about, I say a 1/4 inch above the bead, and clip off any excess crystal flash that may have gotten wrapped when you're moving the herl forward. After you clip off the excess crystal flash, a couple more wraps to secure everything in place. Do a nice little whip finish. Clip off your thread. And I like to cover the bottom with just a nice little coating of Zap-A-Gap, just to make sure that all my trouble isn't for nothing when a fish hits it and it unwraps. And there you have it, the Disco Midge.